Hello, welcome to my channel. This is a speed paint that I did of a character idea like I had. I wanted to just kind of play around with value mainly and just try some things out and see kind of like how it turned out. And uh, I did drawings of this character before, but I was trying to do things a little differently, like, but still keeping the main parts of it intact, like with the tears coming down, the eyes, and like the black kind of shards, like the things that are uh, that really help it stand out, basically. And the first thing I started doing was just laying some colors down, getting the general parts of it, and just kind of like mapping it out, like blocking things in, and just kind of deciding generally like what I wanted to do with it. And here I was kind of unsure of like how I wanted to like add the helmet, because like I wanted to draw like a cool little helmet, um, and I was still kind of like just figuring it out as I went along. And then I also added, the little shards below to kind of like add to that theme, and also because I just thought it looked cool. But yeah, here I was mainly just like trying to figure things out, um, and I was just kind of unsure of myself because I was like, I don't know about this, but I stuck with it and just kept trying to make things work. And like eventually I started to build up a bit of courage and start to kind of add some stuff here and there. And when I started working on the helmet, uh, I was kind of like, oh, like let me try and kind of like make it pointy towards the end because I think that looked cool. And I didn't realize until like much later, like right when I was finishing it up, that it looked like almost identical to the helmet that Griffith wore, like Griffith from Berserk. And like I was kind of laughing to myself thinking about it. I mean, it still looks kind of cool, but uh, I didn't really realize it until much later. And even at one point, I drew like a little hole in it, like for because I was gonna draw an eye, and that just made it so much more obvious. But I mean, I still kind of stuck with it, and it kind of reminded me that everyone kind of grabs inspiration from different artists here and there. Like nothing you make is truly original, just more so like unique to you and how you go about things. And it kind of helps me to worry a bit less about trying to like come up with some new like groundbreaking concept, just to just have fun with it and just appreciate the process and just have fun. And initially, with the helmet, I was planning to just keep it in black and white, like how it is right here. But later on, uh, I decided to just kind of go crazy with it, because I was just looking around on the Clip Studio Assets store, and I saw this gradient map. It was like a holographic gradient map, and I liked how it looked. And I took like old drawings I made and just slapped it on just to see how it would look, and it looked really cool. And towards the end, I realized like, oh wait, I can use it on this, and then I just started plastering it all over. Um, but that comes like more towards the end. At this point, I was still like sticking to like the black and white uh, kind of theme, because I wanted there to be like contrast between like how the skin kind of like pops out in comparison to the helmet, and just kind of keeping things fairly simple, because I've been a lot more conscious of uh, value, because I realized I kind of neglected that. And when I tried to do things like this, like more in a painterly kind of look, like it kind of showed my weaknesses in that area. And since then, I've been trying to learn more and like spend more time, mastering those kind of things because for the past couple of years, I've spent a lot more time on like learning anatomy and properly like understanding it and really like studying it, and my artwork's improved a lot because of it. But uh, I I you know I kind of forgot about like the other like 5 or 6 that you need to know. So yeah, so far, like the past couple weeks, I've just been hyper focusing on value because many of the artists that I see on Twitter, like their artwork's in that painterly kind of look, and it's just so appealing to me. And like a lot of that is just uh, being really good with value, and understanding, how to make it look nice, for lack of a better word. You know, like understanding lighting and ambient light and like occlusion and whatnot. Those kind of things that I'm starting to like dip my toes in a bit and study some. The same way I did with anatomy. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I was just kind of starting to add a bit more, like kind of adding some shadow, like on the face, and kind of taking the planes of the face more into account. Well, of the head, I should say, I guess, because that's a big problem I struggle with rendering the face. Because when I try and make it look nice, like I'm always thinking like, why does it look so flat? And then I forget it's because like the face isn't just like flat, like it has form, volume, like especially like, well, obviously like the zygomatic bone, the cheek, that area, and then like right under the lips, like there's a plane change, so there should be like some value there, and I didn't realize that until much later in the drawing. So you know but you learn as you go. And at this point, I'm kind of just adding the final little bits, and like at this point I was trying out what the gradient map would look like, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But I reverted back to like black and white because I was still kind of like wanting to stick to that. But eventually I did switch over to the gradient map for good, as you'll see right here. And I was just kind of playing around with it. Like I was using the soft eraser at one point, like because I like the pattern that would show up like on the gradient map, and things like that. I fast forwarded a bit, added color dodge to the gradient map, and it ended up coming out like this.